But right now, we bring to you Dallas Mavericks head coach Jason Kidd. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. How you guys doing?
We're doing great. How about yourself?
I have no complaints.
Now, okay, excellent.
It's a good Tuesday.
Are you going
Tuesday?
Are you going to have to tell Cooper Flagg that you knocked Duke out of the tournament in 1993? Is that an important discussion y'all have to have?
Maybe at some point, but that won't be right off the bat.
Okay.
But that is something that I know Grant Hill probably has already beat me to, so probably we'll talk about that at some point, but not right off the bat.
Okay, I like that. And now that the deadline is passed for players to withdraw their names from the upcoming NBA draft, can you say Cooper Flagg by name, or do we have to keep saying the kid from Duke?
I think let's just play it safe, and we'll go with the kid from Duke.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. That being said, I just saw on Bet Online that the kid from Duke is minus 100,000 to 1 to be selected by the Mavericks. Will I win my $100 if I make that bet, Jason Kidd?
I would say yes.
Okay. All right. All right. We'll protect you from there on.
Thank you. But that's interesting news on the odds. But again, this is a talented draft. You have some very talented young men. But the kid from Duke is very exciting and has a promising future. And so we've been studying him a lot here.
And I think the important thing with that is there's no way Corey has $100,000. So yeah. I wouldn't even worry about that. Now, there's some things that I'm really fascinated with this draft, but also kind of going back through some of your career and how it translates into yourself as a coach. Can you kind of walk us through the advice that Dirk gave you when you asked him for shooting tips, including, and I still don't totally understand this, breathing through your eyes? How does one do that?
That's a great question. I think Dirk is and Holger are the only ones that can explain that. I still don't understand it. I told him that I was going to have to pass on breathing through the eyes, and I can do the hand, the ball coming off of the two fingers, but the breathing through the eyes, I'm still trying to figure that out. And so, but it worked for Dirk, and he's one of the best to ever do it. But I thought the advice of being able to shoot, he helped me extend my career, and that led to helping to win a championship here in Dallas. But when you talk about the draft, it's an incredible a journey experience. It's kind of a movie clip of when you're little playing on, I was going to say on the playground, but for these young men, they've grown up in the gym. And so being able to play in the gym and all the AAU games, and then hearing your name called by the commissioner when you talk about Adam, being able to hear your name. And so it's surreal. Your family's excited, family and friends. But it's just a nice token of appreciation of all the hard work. But now you got to get to work because everyone's going to be gunning for you as the number 1 pick or number 2 pick. And so in my case, I was the number 2 pick. And so understanding that there's a lot of work to be done and trying to, live out that dream of being at the highest level.
He still got picked ahead of Grant Hill, though, so don't ever forget that.
I mean, we were talking about Dirk for a second there, and I've always liked this saying from Dirk, which was basketball is jazz. And then when he kind of explained how all that worked, it made sense when you watched it on the court, how the ball moved and how everybody was doing different things collectively to make something happen. What is the Jason Kidd analogy for basketball?
Wow, that's I don't know if I can top Dirk's jazz. I like that though. I think when you have all the moving pieces, I think it's chess. When you look at being able to move the pieces with the ball, the speed, the cut, you don't always have to have the ball to be able to be a part of the play. And so I think when you look at it, I look at it as chess. Can you move the pieces, not just your own teammates, but the opponent? And so that's the way I look at it.
Now, believe it or not, I also want to go back to something that you said about the playground. I know you grew up idolizing Magic Johnson. he was known as a very fierce competitor. How important is it that players they're not just skilled, but they have maybe even that uber level of competitiveness along with them?
Yeah, I think it's very important when you talk about the greats, the work ethic, being able to, be a gym rat, the competitiveness of being able to win, wanting to win, and doing whatever it takes to win. When you talk about Magic, he won at every level, enjoyed the game, wanted to be the best, and he put that time in. And so when you look at these young men that are coming out, they're very competitive. They want to win. They've won at every level. And so, again, when you have that part of your culture, it can just only help and hopefully lead to winning championships.
Do you think a common, trait of some of these players is the hate to lose more than you love to win? And how important is it to appreciate the big time wins that you get?
Well, I think it's very important that, they want to win. And so sometimes winning comes in different forms. You're not averaging, 30 points a night. Maybe it's 15, but you're doing more on the defensive end, being able to guard or being able to help us rebound the ball. And so I think when you look at, who's really willing to sacrifice, even the great players will sacrifice their stats to win. And so to have someone like this, the young man from Duke, everyone has talked about, his willingness to work, but also to sacrifice. And so we're really excited about that.
Jason Kidd joining us here on the K&C Masterpiece on 105.3 The Fan. I was kind of out on an island by myself, still arguing that bigs had a place in the NBA and that you could still use bigs in a way. And you guys kind of flipped it back to having big bodies battling in there, but you also still have high volume 3-point shooting. And I was do you feel like you have something other teams don't, and you can force the opponents to kind of switch their game where they might be lack against the bigs that you guys have?
I think everyone's going to start coming to visit your island. When you talk about being on that island by yourself because you believe bigs have an opportunity in our league, and I truly believe that. I agree with you. I think our league, our bigs, we believe here with the Mavs, we're big. We can put out a big lineup. And also we can, when I say small, AD is still, 6'10", 7 feet. So we're not really small, but I think just the ability, to be able to athletically have bigs who can guard smalls. And when you look at some certain teams in this league, when you look at Cleveland, they're big, but they're athletic. And so you can start to see teams are playing with two bigs. It gives you an advantage on both ends.
How do you plan A, plan B, plan C when a couple of those bigs, Derek Lively, although he's significantly younger, and Anthony Davis have run into some injury problems in their seasons? How do you plan accordingly for if and potentially when that happens?
Well, I think when you have the depth that we have, I thought that was displayed this past season. We truly believe our depth was one of our advantages. We didn't think that we were going to have so many injuries, but that's part of the season, injuries. And so for that, being able to slide the next guy up, being able to have Gafford, Marshall, certain guys like that can step in and start until we can get healthy. And I thought the group did an incredible job. When you talk about our two ways, B. Will, Kessler, those guys played extremely well for us and helped us win games. So I think when you talk about the injuries, it is part of our league, but there is no panic. We truly believe we've prepared the next guy to be able to start for us and find a way to win.
From my perspective, Jason, Kai has a serious voice and respect amongst his peers. Clay has a strong presence, obviously. PJ, AD, you got a lot of strong veterans in this locker room. Can you describe your guys' different leadership styles and how they are leaders in this room?
Yeah, I think when you look at our leadership, I think you look at Kai, his ability. Everyone looks up to him. His talent, we all know, is at the highest level. And so just understanding his voice in that locker room and during the game is always heard, and there's always trusted. You look at Clay, he's won multiple championships. He's played with great players, and his leadership is effective, being steady. No matter who is out of the lineup, he truly believes that we have a chance to win. And he really speaks that in that locker room. And so it's much needed as a coach, but also as teammates. When you have someone like Clay speaking, you trust that his words are gold and that it's going to help us, find a way to win. And then AD has also won championships. This locker room is full of championships. And so understanding what it takes to win. And so AD, again, coming on board, being able to talk to the younger players about what it takes and staying together and having fun. And so you look at the locker room, we have that advantage of what it takes. Again, being healthy is something that's key. And then being able to play at the highest level at the right time. And that a lot of times is April, May, and June. As you can see, you got Oklahoma City and Indiana, the two teams that are playing great right now, and it's exciting.
Do you ever hear a debate in the locker room about whose championship team was better? And do you ever jump in and you're like, man, that 11 team, Dirk went on a rampage. I don't know. Do you ever get that debate going?
No, that's a good point. Maybe that's what we should do. Talk about next season is who had the best run. Kai could probably say Cleveland. Clay's going to say he might get confused and go, I don't know which one was the best. So that's why sometimes it's not, you don't want to start something unless you know you can win. And
right.
Clay has the advantage. So just understanding he could definitely silence a lot of us. But I think it comes down to being able to talk about the different runs, and everybody has a different point of view. The one here in 11 was incredible. Dirk carried us. The role players, as he calls us, burgers, did our part, and we found a way to help him win a championship.
Somebody who I don't think a lot of people even thought could be even a role player at the beginning of the season, Brandon Williams. You mentioned him just a second ago. What kind of development did you see from him this season? And then what are the potential opportunities for him, especially maybe in the next few months of the upcoming season or the first few months?
Yeah, I think when you look at B. Will's development, his trust in the Dallas Mavs of understanding, being patient. A lot of times we use that word a lot here for our younger players is to be patient, but be ready. And he showed that this past season in coming in and helping us win. He gave us something that we didn't have, and that was speed with the ball, being able to, transition, get the ball down and score, and also find open teammates. And so, again, his work ethic is like no other. He's in the gym today working, loves to be in the gym, and we're very excited about what his future is. Extremely bright with us going forward. And yes, with Kai being out, he's someone that we're going to lean on to help us until Kai gets back.
When Jason Kidd brought the ball up the court, what was he looking for? Let's say the ball's out of the net and you're bringing it up the court. What were you looking for back then? And do you kind of have that same expectation for your ball handler on this team?
Yeah, I think for me it was about how can we score the fastest and the easiest, keep the game simple, the throw ahead, being able to find a teammate that was open and I knew that could score with ease. And so when we talk about that here, we talk about the throw ahead, using the pass as so we can play faster, the trust of the throw ahead. And sometimes that throw ahead could get intercepted, and that happens. We've all turned the ball over. But I think it's about, keeping the game simple, easy, and effective. And the group that we have as we go forward here is going to be able to throw the ball ahead. We are bigger.
Yep. And
so some of our bigs are going to have to bring that. We look at PJ this summer working on his ball handling and being able to get us in the offense. Max Christie is another one that's going to, work on this summer, being able to get us organized as the guard, point guard. Again, his effectiveness of being able to score and shoot it, but also can we get him to improve and getting us in the offense, and that will lead to more minutes for him too.
And I know the ability to have a quick-paced offense is obviously important, but every now and again you have to tell the point guard to be able to slow down too, right? Like
Yes.
if you're going to balance it out, don't you?
Yeah, well, we don't always want to leave our bigs. So as we learn about as smalls, we need our bigs defensively and and offensively. But if we get beat on the defensive end, our bigs cover us up and help us at the rim. And so sometimes there's a balance of being able to play fast, but also being able to wait for our bigs, play in the post or play in the pick and roll early and being able to get them touches.
Now, Corey was just saying when the ball goes in the basket and you move, were you ever surprised it took people who invented basketball so long to figure out to cut a hole in the basket? Some say it took a few years. Others think it took a decade. How do you not see, hey, if we put a hole in it, we don't have to climb up the ladder every time?
Well, I'm just happy that they figured that out because I think it would took the game of basketball a long time for guys to climb up and take the ball out of the peach basket.
Yeah, there weren't prolific shooters like Clay back then either.
Okay,
so
I got you.
Had some work to do at that point. Yeah, and last thing before I'll let you go, we've been pretty interested in Sean Sweeney's story, and I think I just saw he's out of the running with Phoenix. What kind of impact has he had on the philosophy of what your bunch does?
Yeah, I think Sweeney's been great. I've been with Sweeney in multiple places when we first started in Brooklyn and then also in Milwaukee and out here in Dallas. And so just to trust, to understand what we're looking for defensively, for him to be able to, take that and run with it. And he's done an incredible job defensively for us. When I say this, everyone thinks that he's just a defensive coach, but also he understands the offensive end too. And so he's been one of the guys I've trusted. He's done an incredible job here in Dallas. I think Phoenix is lost, but we're happy that he's back with us. And I think he'll be a head coach in this league someday.
Well, thank you very much for the time. We're excited about the upcoming season. Obviously, we're all excited about the kid from Duke, and we appreciate your time, good sir.
I can't wait so we can change that kid to Duke to his name. But no, we're really excited about this opportunity. Thanks a lot, guys.